Okay. I hope you guys can hear me. Uh, can anyone hear me? Any thumbs up? Any reaction? Hi guys, can you hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you guys for showing up. Let's wait for a few more minutes to start. Yeah. Okay, we're starting in 6 minutes. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to come and join us today as we learn about entrepreneurship in the 21st century. Yeah. Okay. 0 people. We're starting soon. 5 minutes. We're starting in 4 minutes. Okay. Hi to the one person on the other side. Thank you for coming early enough. Capitalism. Yes. It's 2 minutes to join. Okay. Thank you for coming. Thank you for attending Lunch and Learn. I'm happy to have four of you here. Maybe let's wait for some other people to come. Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes. Okay. Yeah, the new people, thank you for coming to attend Lunch and Learn by Douglas Leadership Academy, DLA in short. Yeah, so as people come, I hope you guys were able to watch the previous Lunch and Learn by Kevin Tisime. Yeah, which is about basically how to get things done. Yeah, and it was a very resourceful session that we had. It was very insightful. I hope people picked from it. Hmm. So we're just waiting for 5 more minutes and let's see. Okay. Okay. Like 5 more minutes. Okay, so I guess let's begin. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the second series of Lunch and Learn by Douglas Leadership Academy. Like as I had said before, we had a session with TC McKevin for those who were able to see it, and it was about to get how to get things done. Yeah, and it was quite insightful, like I had said. So so yeah, let's dive in. Okay. So my name is Nabaggala Courtney, and I am here to present entrepreneurship in the 21st generation, opportunity or an illusion. Yeah. So yeah, we're basically going to talk about me, our team. That's the type of content for today. Yeah, me. We're going to talk about me. Our team is money, everything, power of personal branding, mindset, and lifestyle. Your environment defines you, and how to lead your own entrepreneurial future. Then we shall have that resource page. Yeah. Yes. So about me. Yes, my name once again is Nabaggala Courtney. I studied art Gaza High School for 6 years, S1 to S6, and I'm currently in senior six vacation. I'm an executive assistant at Douglas Leadership Academy, which is where I'm presenting under this platform of Douglas Leadership Academy. And a personal assistant and student advisor at Flobeto Nursery and Primary School in Hoima. And then I am an alumni mentee at Boundless Minds mentorship class, and I love mentoring others. Okay. So DLA, which is basically Douglas Leadership Academy, is our company. Yeah, it's a non-profit organization that provides. It's a non-profit organization that provides basically AI learning, computer-based learning to schools in the US, in Uganda, everywhere basically. So we are starting with New York for now and Uganda, and then we keep spreading and East Africa, Kenya as well, Rwanda as well. So basically, we're just spreading around. And yeah, I hope you get to see more of the things that we do. So please subscribe to this channel, and yeah, you keep seeing better things. So the CEO of Douglas Leadership Academy is Tisime Kevin, and the other executive assistant of Douglas Leadership Academy is Ramos Michelle. Okay. So I think we can dive in now. So our first topic is going to be is money everything? Yeah. So I believe money is something everybody would want to have, yeah, because you're going to buy things with money. You're going to find happiness in money. It's going to just be something you exchange to get something, right? That's what basically money is in the layman language. So money is like a social standing for what you have done. Yeah, it's basically a community trust score, whereby with a high score, it means one is rich, and with a low score, it means one is poor. Yeah, according to the community, basically. Then what is the essence of having money? I also believe that money can save 90% of your problems, such as capital, salary, and machinery. But money can't buy time. Money can't buy love. Money can't buy happiness, but partially it can still buy the happiness, if you know what I'm saying. Then having money is much equivalent to being wealthy, right? But wealth is basically gradual. Wealth is supposed to define one's net worth even when money is taken away. And that involves one having a skill set. So you might ask yourself, what exactly is a skill set? A skill set is something you have come up with, or okay, you have grown up doing, like back way back from your teens, way back from your adolescence age, and it has basically always been on you. And this is something that has always helped you, that has always made you outstanding from other people. For example, coding. For example, being a very good marketing person, people who have very good public speaking skills. If you can pitch an idea extremely well, then that's a skill set. So nobody's going to ever know that Bill Gates lost 300 million today or 300 billion today. No, no one is ever going to know that, okay, today he lost half of his finances. Why? He still remains wealthy, even without the money, because he has that special skill set. Yeah. And all the greatest entrepreneurs well known have failed more than 20 times, but got back up because of that skill set. So if you do have that skill set, everybody's going to somehow look out for you. And there are those people that are going to put you back up where you are, or even higher than where you are. Yeah. So, and that is where entrepreneurship is termed as a risk or rather an illusion. Do you have a skill set that's going to make you the next Bill Gates? You have to ask yourself that question that, okay, today if I lose my money, today if I've not been able to save, today if I lose my job, then what? What will people look at me for, or what will people pick me out from? And they're like, no, Courtney is actually a very good entrepreneur. Courtney is actually someone who's very good at coding. I mean, I can just put her in my company and all my sales will boost in this 1 month. So, yeah. And I think the greatest risk is not trying at all, basically. So people say entrepreneurship is risky and everything, but you always have to make sure you try. And that's the greatest risk, not trying at all. So this is where I believe some entrepreneurs think of capitalism, which is partly true. Though my opinion is making the world a better place before looking at individual profit maximization. Because basically, when we talk about capitalism, you are going into selfishness, as if like you are going to sell your product simply because you want to benefit from it, you want to get money from it, you want to have high end profits. But what we're looking at right now as an entrepreneur, and these are things that they won't tell you in business class, or you won't get to know from other people. It's just basically your skill set. These are things that you have to know at the back of your head that, okay, am I making the world a better place? Am I yeah, am I making the world a better place? Am I doing something to benefit people? Are people actually looking out to have me? That's where entrepreneurship comes to the right place. And that's how we call it an opportunity and not an illusion. Okay. Okay, we'll move to the next. Okay, before we move, any questions or comments on what we had said before? Anyone? Okay, so I guess we can still move on. Okay, so power of personal branding. Why is it important to be seen? Why is it important for an entrepreneur to put themselves on that billboard before their products? Firstly, what do we understand by personal branding? I feel like personal branding basically is putting yourself out there before you put your product out there. It's basically community engagement, even before you put whatever you have to put into the table. What do the people know you as? Who are you? Are you a woman of integrity? Do you have truth behind you? Are you a thief? Are you a liar? Like all that really depends. So yeah. So the next part says trust builds business. So people buy products from who they know, like, and trust. For example, I don't think you'd buy a product, however good it is, from someone who you know is much of a thief, because you're just definitely biased. Yeah. And that's where entrepreneurship also becomes an opportunity once again and not an illusion. You put yourself out there before you put your product out there. So, yeah, you become the face of your vision. And how do you do that? Well, you share your story. You let everybody know where you came from, who you are. I don't know, there's a way that okay, not sympathy per se, but like some people who have sympathy, there's a way they just catch everybody and they're like, you know what? And people are like, you know what, I'm going to do this, I'm going to buy this because maybe this is how our story was, this is how sad it was. Or you can make yours interesting, you can make yours a fantasy. Like you just have to know how to share your story. Use TikTok, use Instagram, put yourself out there before you put your product out there. And that always helps. Then explain your inspirations, like what inspired you, where did you get this from, was it your parents, was it death, was it a breakup, like explain where you got this inspiration from. And the more you do this, the more you find people out there to engage with you, to help you, to build you, yeah. So, and also inspire everyone to believe that entrepreneurship is an opportunity and not just an illusion. If you have made it, you definitely have to share your story and let people know that, okay, me, this is a path I used. Yes, it might not work for you, but you just have to, believe that this is quite an opportunity and it's not going to be a risk. Okay. So then why do we carry out personal branding? Because it differentiates you from a crowded market. Many people can copy your product, but no one can copy you. Your voice, your personality, your values, that's very different. Everybody can have hair oil, everybody can have that AI tool, everybody can code, yeah. But what differentiates you is your voice. How do you speak about your product? How do you take yourself? Actually, even before your product, like how do you take yourself? Who are you? Who are you before? That also matters so much. Yeah. What is your personality? What values do you stand with as a person? I think personally, I can buy what? Vaseline, like from someone who just looks so good because I'm like, okay, that works. Even if it doesn't work, but like simply because I have just seen like her story just says it all. Like her face says her story, she's already looking too good. So like, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy that Vaseline because if I buy that Vaseline, I'm going to look like her. Yeah. And it opens doors beyond business, such as collaboration and mentorship roles, because it's very, very important to mentor others once you have reached where you are. People want to actually know, how did you take this step further? How did you do this? Did you use different paths that Bill Gates didn't use? Did you use different paths that Museveni didn't use? Like, tell us, and we know. And that's very, very important, to hold someone's hand and actually work with them and collaborate. Yep. So if one venture fails, your personal brand travels with you. That basically means that if whatever you're going to do, or whatever you started with, is not going to work out at that moment, if that AI coding is not going to work out well, then the next venture will definitely work out because people have known who you are. You decided to take yourself out there. You decided to share your story. You decided to share your inspirations, and people know your values, and your values are quite very, very, very important. So yeah, once again, if one venture fails, your personal brand travels with you. And definitely, like you'll see the next venture working out, or the other venture. It doesn't have to be the immediate next one. But personal branding is a very, very, very important thing. Okay. Anyone has to say anything about that? Anything? Okay. So so mindset and lifestyle is the next thing. Sorry, just a second. Okay. Yeah. So, as we now talk about the mindset and lifestyle, basically, I believe any kind of entrepreneur should have a very, very good mindset, should have a growth kind of mindset, should have a mindset that is creative, first of all, that's going to think out of the box. Because many people look at entrepreneurship as an illusion, as you're taking risks, right? Which is not the case. So, yeah, how do you, sorry, just a second. So, yeah, so mindset and lifestyle, building a unique mindset where luck finds one. Most people, okay, find entrepreneurship as a lucky path, and others do not. So what exactly do we mean by that? Okay, I feel like what people see as luck is someone just being too ambitious. Someone is going to try 2020, 2021, 2025 up to like 2040. Yeah. And that is exactly how they're going to reach their path that they're supposed to reach. Sorry. But someone will simply fail because they have gotten losses or because the taxes are too high and they just don't have that zeal in them. Yeah. Or having a rare talent where people need to look for you. That's also something that you should, like what I had talked about previously, those who are here, we talked about having a skill set, that talent that everybody is going to look out for. We're not even talking about the fact that you have a business or you run this and run that, but that one talent, do you code? Are you a specialist at something? Are you good at engaging with the public? Are you good at branding? Are you good at public speaking? That one, special skill where people actually need to look for you. That's what we're exactly talking about. So, types of mindsets that we have a fixed mindset. This is the belief that intelligence and talent are innate traits that cannot be significantly changed. This is quite self explanatory. I feel like this is where people are just so rigid and they do not want to move with the way the world is moving. Sorry, I keep putting this into AI because, yeah, DLA is really, really computer based and loves to teach about AI as well. So AI has come and people are like, no, you know what? No, let me stick to the old ways. Like, let me do the past things that I'm supposed to be doing. Let me use the record books. Let me do this. Yet you have a whole AI tool that's almost, actually it's even free of charge. But of course, eventually, if you have to do more work, you have to pay for it. You have a whole AI tool whereby you could just type, prompt it right, type 5 sentences, and you have a whole report that would take you over 3 days to make. Type it right, you have a business proposal. Type whatever you have to type right, prompt it right, and you have so much on your plate covered in a very short span. Yet you don't even need so much of labor. So having that fixed mindset is something that if you're an entrepreneur, you are definitely going to fail, and you're going to live in the world of illusion. And then if you have the growth mindset, this is the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication, effort, and learning. Yeah. So if you're that person who can take up anything, that change has come, I'm going to take it up. If you've realized, even in boutiques, if you keep bringing the old clothes, nobody's going to buy from you. You're going to end up making losses and losses and losses. And you still have to pay the rent and the power and everything. So if you have that growth mindset that you believe that you can learn, you can pick up with what's happening right now, then you have it all as an entrepreneur, and that makes entrepreneurship an opportunity and not an illusion. Yeah. So yeah, number two, basically looking at entrepreneurship as an opportunity. Yeah, once again, and not an illusion. Okay. So then also obtaining specific knowledge is really a good way to tune your mindset. Everybody has their opinions on entrepreneurship. People have written books, podcasts have been made, um, but how you navigate a problem and how you tune your mindset, now that's specific knowledge. Once again, specific knowledge is just basically what you pick out from. Okay, yes, everybody's going to tell you that go and watch the Naval podcast, or go and read Sarkan's books, or go and watch Courtney's podcast, go and watch Kevin's podcast. Yeah, that's okay. But what for you, how do you lay down your path? How do you know your weaknesses? How do you get to know that, okay, I used Courtney's method and these were part of my strengths. I used Kevin's method and these were part of my weaknesses. That's specific knowledge whereby it's just your own path that nobody can actually follow, whereby you fall down and pick yourself back up. Yeah. And yes, you can also teach someone that exact thing, but I believe specific knowledge works for you as a person, as an individual. That's why it's called specific knowledge. Okay. Yeah, so now lifestyle. A good entrepreneur is a creative one and an inquisitive one. A good entrepreneur has to be a good reader, ready to take in knowledge. Personally, I do not like to read, but one thing Kevin, the CEO of DLA, has instilled in me is reading, and I read through text to speech apps to always is my work. So even as, because yes, DLA, the company that we're in, Douglas Leadership Academy, for those who have just come, we do so much entrepreneurial work. So I definitely do know what I'm talking about because it's so much of groundwork, and we use all these life hacks and life skills and exactly obtain our specific knowledge at the end of it all to lay down whatever we have to do. So you always have to read because you always have to pick knowledge from different people. Sometimes you can think you know it all, and yet there's always an easier process. But simply because you did not read, you did not try to acquire your own specific knowledge, then that's going to be such a very, 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 very big downfall for you. Yeah. So, an outstanding entrepreneurship lifestyle is seen from the way an entrepreneur also values their time. If you were here of our previous Lunch and Learn series by Kevin Tusime, he talked about valuing time so much. Basically, when he was talking about how to get things done, he really, really, really emphasized valuing time so much. So maybe a few things that he also talked about were, how do you manage to achieve your set goals in 24 hours? Basically, okay, what we do, we always make sure we write down our goals for the day, and we always look back at the end of the day and we're like, okay, we achieved this, we achieved this, we achieved this. Because we realize if you just don't do that and you're like, okay, everybody's going to work, at the end of the month, you're going to realize that you've actually done almost nothing, simply because you did not write down your goals, you did not use that second brain. Yeah, I advise you to go and watch Kevin's podcast right after this. It's on this channel, yeah, and it was recorded. So if you did not watch it, please do, because it explains these 3 points down here that I've put here. So also set KPIs. KPIs are key performance indicators with reflection questions such as, are you working on the right thing, or are you just being delusional? Yeah, that's also very, very important. That's also very important. So yeah, sorry, sorry about that. Anyway, so how do you sorry, well, we were on that second, yeah, the KPIs. So always make sure you have your KPIs, always look through them, always, put yourself on the right pace, do not overrush. And yeah, basically that's how you're going to have to manage your time. And the third point is your life going where it needs to go? How do you see yourself in the next 2 years, in the next week, in the next 5 years, in the next month? That's also very, very important. And that's how you live an entrepreneurial lifestyle. So, any questions on that or any comment on that? Okay, no comments on that. Uh, okay. Okay, yeah. So the next thing is your environment defines you. So according to science, environment refers to man and his surroundings. Yeah, as everybody knows, P for work. So yeah, you ask yourself, do you surround yourself with optimists, pessimists, people who can critique you when you need to be, or people who will let you live in a fairy fantasy? So let's define this: optimists, people who are always going to be positive for you, or they're going to push you even when you see yourself going so down. Yeah, they're like, no, you can do this. Like, keep that 500 million there. You can. And Bambi, you keep trying. And then pessimists are people who are just going to be negative all the time. That, bro, why putting that 500 million? What if nothing works out? What if you fail? That kind of thing, right? And then people who can critique you when need be. So people who can critique you when need be. I feel like these are the most important people that you should have in your life, because these are people who are going to see the light when you can't see anything, when you're quite delusional in your own fantasy, and you're like, you know what, Courtney, I do not think it is right for you to actually hire those people. I do not think it is right for you to actually give in that 500 million to invest all that money. I don't see that happening. And you definitely sometimes listen to them. Of course, sometimes you don't, but we're going to see that further from here. Or people who will let you live in a fairy tale fantasy. So those are people who are going to be like, no, just keep doing it, even when they see that the market research is so poor and you're putting all this money and you're going to make that loss. But simply because you are too ambitious and you are too delusional, they just also leave you to be in that delusion. Because basically, I feel like these are people who just don't like you. So you also have to know who you surround yourself with. You have to know your environment, the kind of people who you're with. So that's basically something that people undermine, but I feel like I really had to put it out there today. Okay. So putting yourself in a position of high leverage and emotional fantasy, one will soon get into depression due to over risking, i.e., have a support system and be a rational optimist. Yeah. always, and always have a support system. Have those friends who are always going to tell you the truth, even when you do not want to hear the truth. And these are the people you are working with, basically. Because most times, people who you're not working with do not exactly understand what you're going through, or people who are mentoring you, people who have gone through this path, basically retired or still living in it as well, but at a higher level. That should be your support system, not someone who doesn't know what you are doing. And being a rational optimist basically means an optimist who is not delusional. Like, yes, things can be positive, but not all the time that things are going to work out. You also have to be realistic. You look at the market research, you look at so many things, the cash flow requirements, you look at the profits you're going to earn out of this, if you're still looking at capitalism, or you look at how are you going to help the world in this. You just have to be a rational optimist, because sometimes people think they can help the whole world and you actually cannot help the whole world, because everybody knows you cannot help the whole world. So it's being a rational optimist is also another topic of its own. So the more you subscribe, the more I think you'll have to get to know more about this. Then an entrepreneurial environment must also contain three critical things. Something that makes an entrepreneur get rich. Yeah, people who are still looking at the individual capitalism on their side, because as I said, capitalism is good on one side, but it's also not as good if you're one person who is trying to look at making the world a better place. Then being fit, because up to now, I don't think money can really do so much fitness unless you actually get an activity like you yourself, like you put yourself in a position whereby you have to be fit because your health matters. You're an entrepreneur. You have to overthink, you think outside the box, critical thinking, all that. So up to now, even Jeff Bezos still has to work out, still goes out to the gym and everything. He has his own gym. But yeah, being fit is really, really, really important as an entrepreneur. Then smarter or more creative things. Always look for things that are going to make you smarter, things that are going to make you more creative, things that are going to make you outstanding from other people. That's also very, very important, because you can be so many people having the same product, but we're not trying to compete and we're not even trying to copy. So once you're more creative, once you're smarter than people, once you can innovate better than they can, then you're always going to be the most outstanding entrepreneur. Yeah, so do not copy, don't compete. You can kindly check my LinkedIn post about more on that. Same name, Nabaggala Courtney. You can see what I put up on that. Does your environment contain the use of AI tools? That's also very important. For example,
It's not live anymore.
oh, sorry. Sorry about that. So I was still talking about, does your environment contain the use of AI tools? For example, sorry about that. So do you have ChatGPT? Do you use Claude? Do you use Gemini? Do you use Gamma? That's quite very important. And maybe let me skip to the why. Why do we need these AI tools? As I had said before, AI is basically having capital intensive more than the labor intensive. And once you have capital intensive more than the labor intensive, you're definitely going to make more profits than someone who wants to put so much labor into their business and everything. Because as I said, AI is going to ease your work. It's going to make your life much, much better, much, much faster. Your goals will be achieved almost way better than hiring so many other people. So yeah, it helps in proofreading of documents, making business proposals, like we had said before, for those who are around before, writing essays, recording minutes during meetings, making flyers, brochures, and so many other things. And what do you exactly need? You need to know how to prompt, because many people they say ChatGPT is going to give me a wrong thing, or Cloud is not giving me accurate information. But that's because you lack prompting skills. But prompting skills are skills you gradually get. Like, you're not going to just start using the AI tools and you think you're going to do it so perfectly. at the first start. It's a thing that's very gradual, and you have to take your time. You have to understand. You have to watch like more reels or more YouTube videos on how you actually do that. Yeah. Then you also need a stable internet connection, obviously, and a working device. And by the time you actually need these tools for to do so many other things, you eventually start paying them, yeah, to help you keep your data and help you. Okay, there's a way when you pay these tools, they are way more efficient than when you do not pay these tools. But paying these tools is way much cheaper than paying the 100 people who would have done this work for you. That's where we also still look at the growth mindset that can you actually move with the way the generations are moving? Can you move with the way the world is moving? Are you at the same pace with the way the world is moving? Because the world does not wait for anyone. You have to step up and move. And there's that famous quote that says, change is the only constant in life. So, yeah, how do you lead your own entrepreneurial future? Before we start, any comments or questions on that, on the before topic? Okay. Thank you, Kevin. Okay. So, how to lead your own entrepreneur future? Your own entrepreneur future. I'm now looking at personal leadership. How do you lead yourself to where you want to be? So, personal leadership means taking ownership of your growth, vision, and calling. Yeah. Being a visionary and pace setting leader automatically, it automatically evaluates to a high performance, right? So leadership through mentorship is a great way to promote the younger generation. Those who had been here had actually, I think, listened to how I talked about mentorship, because mentoring people is one of the most important thing. There's no way you're going to want to change the world when you can't teach others how you have come, from from the ground, and you are now up there. So that's quite something very, very important to do. And when one lights another person's lamp with their fire, they lose nothing. So honestly, teaching another person does not make you lose even 5% of your knowledge. You're actually even gaining more, or by them also telling you their experiences, by you holding their hand and telling them, okay, this is the obstacle that you are going to, you're going to find if you do ABC. And the better you do this, the more you save so many people from thinking that entrepreneurship is an illusion. So getting all the knowledge and placing it into a willing mind is basically holding that young entrepreneur's hand and walking every step with them as you dodge obstacles with them. Yeah. Then how to start? You get the right target audience, get the people who are actually going to understand what you're trying to do in this company, what you're trying to do in this entrepreneurial business, right? And know your purpose. Why are you doing this business? Why are you starting this entrepreneurship scheme? Why are you starting this setup? Who are you doing it for? Is it a personal? Is it individual capitalism, like we had said before? Or do you want to make the world a better place? Are you doing it to see what your abilities are, to push yourself to a different level? Know your purpose. Then get a problem to be solved. Like I'd say, to be an entrepreneur that thrives, I believe you have to get into a space where people are looking for you, not where you have to start looking for people. For example, Douglas Leadership Academy, DLA, we provide AI. Everybody wants to learn how to use Canmigo. Everybody wants to know how to use computer best, rather than going to teachers every 1 second, every 2 seconds when they do not even have time for you. But you can basically learn on the computer everything you need to know. So yeah, you get to know that problem to be solved. The vision, get to know the vision of your business, of your company, of that setup. What do you look like in 2 weeks from now? Everybody keeps saying, what do you look like in 10 years? But sometimes it's actually very important to know, what do you look like in 2 weeks from now, and what are you doing about it to get to that goal that you're trying to achieve in 2 weeks from now. Yes. And then also get to know your strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at and what aren't you good at, and where can people help you, or where can those AI tools help you? That's also very important. Instead of lying to yourself all the time that I can do this, I can do that, and at the end of it all, you're just risking. You're making entrepreneurship look like an illusion, yet it's not supposed to be. And also decision making skills, have extremely good decision making skills, because this actually is one of the most important thing to know where you're going, because one decision can make you just really get off and you cannot come back up sometimes. So once you know that the good decisions making skills that you have, then entrepreneurship is the limit. Sorry, the sky is the limit. Yeah. So types of decisions, I believe as an entrepreneur you should know. We have autocratic decisions. A leader makes decisions unilaterally without input from others. These are your decisions made basically. It's almost like authoritative. Like, okay, I've said this and nobody is going to add on to this. So you have to know that, okay, as yes, I'm leading myself. Okay, before we're talking about personal leadership, but now you leading other people in your company, you leading other people who are, or you mentoring people, and you're making decisions for them. So sometimes you want to be authoritative and you have to actually trust yourself at a much higher level to do this, which I do not really, if you're just starting an entrepreneur business, and I do not really recommend it for anyone, to use. Then consultative decisions, the leader seeks input from others but retains the final decision making authority. Like, yes, you're going to hear what other people have to say, but you as a leader and you have your own your own way of thinking, the way you have set up some specific things. Sometimes, yes, you'd want to listen to what people say, but eventually you have the final decision. I feel like this is better than autocratic, because at least your mindset can also even be changed with what people are trying to tell you. Then consensus decisions, everyone involved works together to reach a decision or can accept and support. I feel like that's also very good, because you are going to reduce the fact that people will, fight for positions or hate on you. And that's something very good, especially when everybody knows what they are doing. Then delegated decisions, the leader delegates decision to an individual or subgroup. So that's also very important, that in that way people are learning better, they're improving their skills, and that's a very good way to be a leader, I believe. Then democratic decisions are made by majority vote, with each person having a say. So also this is good, because you at least know how people think, how much people have grown, into the business or into the skill. So being a democratic leader is also, I believe it's also something very good. So as you're trying to do this personal leadership or you're trying to lead other people, I really advise that you get to know these decision making skills. You get to understand them, and because you first have to know who you are, like we said, know who you are, know your purpose, know what exactly you're doing, and know your vision. Then you can apply this to whatever you have to do. Yeah, this is the resource page, how to get rich. That's another podcast, and the link is there. Then the leadership toolkit, the link is there. Objectives and key returns, we also have a link provided, and key performance indicators, also a link provided to watch on YouTube. Yep. Any questions about decisions and how to lead yourself to your own future? Okay, so seeing something from Banji Anita, is it possible to solve a problem, then get a specific target audience, because it seems to be a better route sometimes? Okay, I believe that once you're solving a problem, you are first looking at the audience. Who are these people I am solving the problem for? What do they need? I do not think you can come up with a problem and then you want to look for the audience. It doesn't make sense, because you're going to end up making more losses, and entrepreneurship is going to end up looking more like an illusion. So I believe personally, what I think is that you first get the target audience, because getting the target audience is basically like the center of everything. That's where you know your purpose. That's where you know your vision, that, okay, these are the people. Then what next? How am I going to help them? What am I going to improve? What am I going to innovate? Yeah, I think, I hope I have answered you, Banji Anita. Yep, the resource page. Any other questions? Okay, so Tristan Gray says, how about teamwork? I noticed that richest people, yeah, I noticed that the richest people have an amazing teamwork. Can AI replace that point of view? I believe yes, at a point it can, on a point no, but like more than 90% it can. Like I said, AI can help you do so much. It can be your core CEO. It can really, really align for you each and everything, as long as you know how to prompt it right. The problem is people do not know how to prompt the AI tools right. So once you get to know how to do that, then everything is always set out for you. Okay. All right. I think we have come to the end. Thank you so much for watching. Yep. And if you have anything else to say, please let us know. If you liked it, you can give us a thumbs up. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for giving us your time. Please attend more series for the Lunch and Learn by Douglas Leadership Academy. Thank you. You're very welcome, guys. You're very welcome. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, please attend our next sessions next month, 3rd July. Yeah, we'll be waiting for you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye.